Hello, beloved brethren. A couple things I wanted to clarify. So in that last video where I was talking about Genesis 26:35, which were a grief of mine and to Isaac and Rebecca, those people, and I wanted to clarify first that the reason why they were a grief of mine is because there are certain ones, first of all, who afflict and oppress others in order to try to get them to do what they want. It's a type of manipulation. The other reason is because maybe they're gods that they worship. And when you bring in other gods that they worship, those other gods that hate the Father of lights, the Father of spirits, our Abba Father, and hate Christ, which is in us, the hope of glory, that glory that's in us, they hate that. And they hate the mother, Jerusalem above, mother of us all. We see that the angel of the Lord, who was sent by God, the devil was always resisting him and trying to prevent. Even the prince of Persia, we see, was trying to prevent God's holy angel from the work of God. So that's what they do. They try to prevent and harass and afflict and oppress God's servants. They try to trouble us and try to cause chaos and strife and contention. And so let's read Ephesians 6 again, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. So we don't rely on our own power, it's his power. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So the wiles of the devil, and the tactics of the devil, but remember that no man can pluck you out of the hand of God. No weapon, nothing that they do can separate you from God. In verse 13 it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now we know that spirits can hold people. The Israelite man that Jesus delivered from that, from a legion of devils, and that's a lot of them. They were holding him captive, and Jesus said, come off of him. And there is a legion, which is like 70,000 of them. That's quite a few devils. And he was being afflicted and oppressed by them. We see that many people are being influenced by these devils, and they don't even know it. All of our brethren all over the whole earth. We have Sister Sarah in Israel, who's giving the gospel under great persecution. She's had people hit her, push her, throw things at her, as she's witnessing the gospel to them. We have brother in Italy who's being afflicted and persecuted. He was beat up. We have Sister Genevieve in Australia giving the gospel and has been afflicted and hit and spit on, and many things have done. We have many brethren all over the world. My brother Monty, whenever, like years ago, whenever he went to Oahu, he was on the beach and he was giving the gospel. And he's the one that I give the gospel with sometimes on the streets. And I've known him for years. But he was there, and a man out of nowhere came and hit him over the head with a club. The police came, and he said, he didn't press charges or anything. And the next day, the guy came to him and said he didn't know what he was doing. And he's sorry. And he got born again. And he was always encouraging him after that. We have a brother that was on the train, and he was telling people Jesus is coming, and this woman hated it so much that she started beating him on the head, and he is bleeding. And her little daughter or son, I can't remember if it was daughter or son, said, "Mommy, stop. He is a messenger from God. He's sent by God." And she stopped beating him up and got on her knees and started praying. And come to find out, that little child was deaf until that time. I've had people throw things at me and spit and the devils just manifest in people. We see in Maui, the devils manifesting on that video. I think I posted it on here. They manifest in different ways. So remember, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but we're wrestling against spiritual wickedness, beloved. And it gets up into their mind, okay? Gets up into their carnal thinking and stuff. So we have to forgive people and love people And some things are misunderstandings. And remember, the gospel of Christ, the cross is offensive. All right, very offensive. Jesus was murdered, crucified. The apostles were murdered, crucified. Peter was crucified, Stephen was stoned, and some of them were cut asunder. Some of them were eaten of lions in the Colosseum from Rome, the Colosseum there. We have so many persecutions ever since that time, all the way till now, and even the prophets were persecuted. And you have it. It's because of the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, beloved. They don't know him and they don't want him. Okay. And the devil and his angels, which it shows even the prince of Persia, it says in the scriptures, fought against God's messengers. It's always going to be that way until God comes and his brightness destroys the wicked. Right now, his word is destroying them, but there's going to be a brightness that's coming, and that brightness, the countenance, the presence of the Lord, as it says in Acts, the refreshing of his presence. And it says in another scripture that I think it's Thessalonians, one of those, that his brightness is going to destroy the wicked with the brightness of it's going to be revealed who they are. So some people are being influenced by these things and they don't even know, beloved. Some people are the influencers that are using these people. They are the devils. Jesus said, you make them twofold the devil as yourselves. You proselyte them, you cross land and sea to proselyte them, and then you make them twofold the devil as yourself. So Jesus was revealing some things to us about what a devil is, and spiritual wickedness. These are sorcerers, as Revelation of Jesus Christ says, by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. These are the kings of the earth. This is many people who are deceivers and merchants. So in Revelation 18:23, it says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all